Hey guys, we're DLOG, Handshake Protocol for the Industrial Supply Chain. I'm Brian, Praveen, Louis, William, and Balraj.
So at DLOG, we are trying to solve an enterprise problem that occurs in the procurement process. So what happens in an enterprise in a procurement solution process is that whenever they want to buy something, they put in a purchase order that goes to the buyer. And the buyer sends that product, ships it, and then it goes to the purchaser. And then eventually they start putting in an invoice. So what the problem is with these three documents, the purchase order, the invoice, and the shipping notice, the information in all these three documents, it doesn't match. So that creates a problem. Just the next slide. So these are the different cases where that problem occurs. You have a purchase order errors, adjusting prices for profit, manipulating quantities, and some of these cases can be an intentional case or anything non-intentional coming from the buyer or from the seller. It could be incorrect products delivered and things like that. Next slide. Currently in the industry or in any company, how they solve that problem is that they do a visual three-way matching. So there is an accountant, someone in an AP, they actually manually look at those three documents to see if those prices match. So the three documents that we talk about is the invoices, POs, and the receipts. And so, yeah, it's a time-consuming process. Someone has to be there looking at it, and they always have an FTE looking at that. So let's talk about the current solutions that's available in the market, which is a procure-to-pay solution, a procurement solution. And these are the capabilities that they have. It can create an electronic documentation. It can manage their documents. It has some payment solutions. But the limitations with those are, it's still the three-way matching. It has to be done manual. It's prone to fraudulent for payments. There's no one source of truth, and the audit trail for verification is not there in those things. So why would these companies want to switch from their current solutions to a DLOG or something similar to that? They want to have a zero tolerance fraud, reduce their overhead, and also increase the trust between the supplier and the purchaser. So we have William here who's going to explain the solution.
All right, so our solution is to support the buyer and seller in agreeing on a dealing. This will be done by our DApp, software as a service, and proprietary handshake protocol for securely verifying agreement. After which the results of this handshake is pushed to the decentralized database powered by BlueZell. Using BlueZell, we will leverage the power of blockchain technology by having these results stored trustlessly, immutably across various swarm nodes, and thus providing a tamper-free solution, peace of mind for businesses, and doing all of this scalably with the distributed nature of BlueZell's innovative DHT implementation. Through this, we will have source of truth for both our DB and consumers' business disputes. We'll have Louis talk about our...
Yeah, so we have a business model. So we have 3 tiers. So we have, depending on the size of the business that you have, so we have different packages, different bundles. And then we have an integration model, setup fee and transaction fee. So all this will be based on the prices that BlueZell is gonna charge us for that. So we got that's where it comes to the cost structure, the fixed cost, the software development cost, application infrastructure cost, and the variable cost. So this is transactions that we're gonna be making through the BlueZell app. And then we go to the market strategy. These are the ways we plan on targeting or going after our market. Trade shows, direct marketing, industrial events, in person. So that's the way. So I guess we can go to our demo because we're running out of time. So these are our roadmap. And straight to the demo. Yeah, straight to the demo.
All right, so yeah, after you log in, you can take a look at your data. This data can be uploaded like by CSV files, so like Excel documents. You could load in your own database or API linking, and you can sort and filter your data, all that good stuff. you can check pending requests and completed ones, and you can create requests to other people. Good time, everyone?
No, that's great. Keep it plugged in. Thanks so much. So we'll have you guys, if you guys want to be ready for a bit of Q&A with the judges now. Rich, you want to wind up the clock again? Cool. Okay, so you guys okay passing the mic around each other? I have to go plug in my laptop before I die. So we'll have first a question from Neeraj, and obviously Rich, just start the timer once Neeraj starts asking his question.
So didn't get to see the demo very much, but thanks for putting it together. So to what extent was the Buzel database used in your demo? Can you kind of expand upon that in some detail?
We did not get a chance to directly work with your Buzel database today. We decided to focus on the business model, on getting value from implementing your awesome, innovative database technology.
But the one thing that I was able to talk to Isabel and the other team members is that one thing that we wanted was to get the encryption or the public key or the private key from it, and then we noticed that that's not in the product right now, but it is something that's going to be done. Because that's the one thing that would help on our solution, is to have that kind of keys that can be generated, that can be shared with both the parties for them to access that information. If that's not available, then we have to have other blockchains looked at, just having the data stored in the Buzel.
So essentially what it's going to be doing is, using this is when you and the buyer or seller are coming to an agreement, and you both handshake on it through our app, then it stores that the agreement and the price and everything like that in the database, so that it can't be changed. And so anytime anyone needs to look back on that, it is both signed by both parties and that they both agree, so that there's no floating paperwork or anything like that causes the confusion that happens today in so many businesses.
Yeah, and this process itself is done securely through cryptographically signed algorithms, and so you have a secure result going to a secure database. And
If you guys have any other questions?
So Ryan and then Charles had a question. Okay. The documents are signed by both parties.
yes.
What's the value of having it stored in a decentralized database as opposed to just both storing it on each other, like each having a copy?
The entire point of implementing blockchain technologies in the first place is to have this decentralization, this source of truth from consensus that you cannot tamper with by anyone or two, in this case, point of failures.
And if they store it in each of their own database, then there's a trust issue whether you tamper
If
with
they both signed it, then that's untampered with,
I
right?
just said you signed mine.
You sign each other's.
Even when that happens, I know personally, people will still, even if it's like lower end construction businesses and stuff like that, there'll be a contract written, but they'll be like, oh no, that's not what you said, or we changed the price or something like that. And by doing that, they cause conflict, and then the companies have to retain lawyers, and then there's big fights that always happen over, oh, how much did you have, or oh, how much did I have? And by having this stored for both of them to see, and they can't change it at all, and it's not on paper, it's in somewhere that's immutable, can't be changed.
And this can be generalized to pretty much any B2B industry with high value invoicing. So any transaction that requires a lot of back and forth negotiation and a big final payout, you have a lot of overhead in the process, and this all costs companies money. And we just want to put in a really simple way to make that stuff easier.
So what happens if they agree on a contract and then a change order happens and they have to amend the contract? How do you deal with that?
In many cases, it does happen because it's not that they have one specific set of contract or items for that prices. In that case, they have to go back and put in a different agreement, new contract for that day.
You still have the record of the old one that can't be changed.
So it will be updated as as a log, so you can see the new date or the most recent date per agreement. So yes, the old one will be there, but the new one will be underneath.
How do you identify which is the newest?
Timestamps. And well, how blockchain works to begin with, it will be just linked by previous and current hash, or next hash rather.
And the point is, even if they have when they do an invoice or any other documents, they all have to relate back to the contract that they are agreeing on. So today I made another contract, it has to point to that block file, and then a few days later, if they made another contract, all the documents should relate back to that contract.
Anybody else with questions from the judges panel? No? Awesome, thanks so much. Let's have a round of applause for